Halo semua, kembali lagi bersama channel Theophilus. Pada kesempatan kali ini, saya akan membahas mengenai nabi yang tidak tahu membedakan wahyu dari Allah dan dari setan. Nabi adalah orang yang dipilih oleh Allah untuk menyampaikan wahyunya. Nah, peran nabi sangat penting kan? Agar manusia dapat mengikuti perintah Tuhan. Tetapi bagaimana jika orang yang mengaku diri sebagai nabi tidak tahu membedakan mana wahyu dari Allah dan mana wahyu dari setan? Bagaimana jika yang diterimanya berasal dari setan dan nabi tersebut berkata bahwa itu berasal dari Allah? Nah, pasti berbahaya kan?
Dulu saya dengan Gus Dur bicara seperti ini. Kata Gus Dur, ya memang begitu Pak Sakur. Saya ini beragama kayak pegang bara. Dilepas nggak boleh, dipegang saya sakit. Ya kan artinya. Oleh karena itu yuk sekarang kita berpikir. Jangan takut murtad dong. Oleh karena itu yuk sekarang kita berpikir. Jangan takut murtad dong. Jangan takut murtad dong. Daripada kamu mempercayai sesuatu yang tidak benar. Betul enggak? Ya iya, berpikir kritis. Selama ini kita dididik beragama ini dengan cara pejamkan matamu, matikan lampu, tutup jendela, kunci pintu. Yakinlah begitu caranya. Selama ini kan begitu. Pokoknya kan begitu. Yuk kita berbicara rasional. Itu yang saya inginkan. Dan ini akan terjadi perubahan nanti. Sebab kalau tidak dimulai dari pikiranmu, bagaimana bisa berubah?
Nah, agar tidak menjadi percaya buta, mari berpikir dengan logika, berpikir dengan akal sehat, sehingga kita dapat mengetahui mana ajaran yang benar, yang sesuai dengan kehendak Tuhan yang menciptakan langit dan bumi. Sebelum lanjut, kita buat kesepakatan terlebih dahulu. Oke? Nah, yang pertama, nabi yang tidak tahu membedakan wahyu dari Allah dan dari setan bukanlah nabi yang sesungguhnya dan tidak layak untuk dipercaya. Yang kedua, nabi yang tidak tahu membedakan wahyu dari Allah adalah penyesat yang mengaku sebagai nabi, dan kita tidak perlu mengikuti semua ajaran yang dibawa oleh dia. Bagaimana? Bagi Anda yang tidak setuju dan tidak mau mencari kebenaran, tidak perlu menonton video ini. Tetapi bagi Anda yang setuju dan mau cerdas dan ingin mengetahui kebenaran, silakan nonton video ini sampai habis. Oke? Kita mulai ya. Kita telah membuat kesepakatan ya. Yang pertama, nabi yang tidak tahu membedakan wahyu dari Allah dan dari setan bukanlah nabi yang sesungguhnya dan tidak layak untuk dipercaya. Dan yang kedua, nabi yang tidak tahu membedakan wahyu dari Allah adalah penyesat yang mengaku sebagai nabi, dan kita tidak perlu mengikuti semua ajaran yang dibawa oleh dia. Nah, sekarang kita akan membaca The History of Al-Tabari, volume 6, halaman 108 sampai halaman 111. Nah, jika Anda telah membacanya, pertanyaannya adalah, jika seorang mengaku sebagai nabi dan tidak dapat membedakan wahyu dari Allah dan dari setan, untuk apa harus percaya kepadanya? Hanya orang yang ingin dibodohi dan tidak mau cerdas yang terus mengikuti orang yang mengakui diri sebagai nabi, namun tidak tahu membedakan yang mana wahyu dari Allah dan dari setan. Nah, sekarang mari kita mendengarkan penjelasan dari Father Zakaria Botros.
Zakaria, what would you want these Muslims to know about the Quran? And you could take as long as you want, but what information would you like to share with them about the Quran? Because they have false beliefs about the Quran, but what's the truth?
Good question. I want Muslims to know that Muhammad was a false prophet, deceived by Satan. And Satan guided him all his days of life when he was on earth. Muhammad was deceived by Satan, who appeared to him and who talked to him and who guided his way. So he deceived Muhammad, and Muhammad deceived all Muslims. Yeah.
So with the Quran, Muslims are told that the Quran is a perfect book, that the teachings of the Quran are perfect, that the Quran has been perfectly preserved, that the Quran contains scientific miracles, that it's the most wonderful book ever. Are these things true about it? I mean, I'm sure you've read the Quran many times. Do you think that it is a wonderful book?
I have many episodes, mm-hmm. in my programs mm-hmm. about Quran. Mm-hmm. Not less than 40 episodes mm-hmm. about the errors in Quran. Scientific errors, historical errors, geographical errors, theological errors, and grammar errors, Arabic grammar errors, language errors. How could a book from God is full of these errors? How did their Allah know the truth? That's why he makes many mistakes. So I want Muslims to know that Quran is a false book, inspired not by God, inspired by Satan to Muhammad, to deceive him and deceive all the people. And Satan is working against Christ. As God was incarnated in Christ, so Satan imitated that. Satan himself was incarnated in Muhammad. To make another story, he wants people not to go behind Jesus Christ and be saved. So he made the same story, and he was incarnated in Muhammad and spoke to him to deceive the whole world. That's why he deceived all the Muslims. Millions and millions were deceived by Muhammad.
There are lots of stories about Muhammad. For you Muslims who are watching, there are lots of stories that your leaders just don't tell you about. And so the only way you Muslims learn about about these stories about your prophet is to is to come to us, right? Because we're the only ones who are going to tell you. Your leaders won't tell you. Politicians won't tell you. CNN won't tell you. No journalist is going to tell you. No one's going to tell you what is in your actual sources, and you guys don't read them. So we're the only people. You get mad at us for telling you, but we're the only people who actually tell you what's in your sources. And it's very strong language to say that Muhammad is led by Satan or something like that. But if you read your sources, you see why. I mean, Muhammad's first impression of his revelations was that he was demon possessed. His first encounter with what he later believed was the angel Gabriel made him suicidal, depressed and suicidal, tried to hurl himself off a cliff. Muhammad later claimed to be the victim of black magic, which was giving him these crazy thoughts and false beliefs. And of course, there's the satanic verses where he admitted that he delivered revelations from the devil. And if you Muslims read about the process of Muhammad receiving these revelations, it sounds like something out of a horror movie. It sounds like something terrifying, where he falls on the ground and his skin changes color and he begins sweating. It sounds like something from a horror film. It sounds like something like demonic possession. So, again, you're only getting this from us. Now, Father Zachariah. Go ahead.
Can I add something?
You can add anything you want.
Yeah, thank you so much. The first day Muhammad was possessed by the devil, and he came down from the cave of Hara, like you described, was crazy. His wife asked him, Khadija, the first wife, what's wrong with you? He confessed openly and said to her, I feel I am possessed by Satan. He himself said that, and these are written in their books in Arabic. But no one wanted to say that. He confessed that I am possessed by Satan. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I think that is a massively important point. You Muslims who are watching, try not to miss this. Muhammad met something in a cave. Yeah. He was the only one there. When he left, Muslims, when he left, he thought he was demon possessed. He goes to his wife and says, I think I'm demon possessed. And his wife, who wasn't there, who didn't see anything, who had no idea, who's trying to calm her husband down because he's suicidal, he's trying to kill himself. She calms him down and says, no. It's you're a prophet. That was an angel. How would she know? What in the world does this woman know, Muslims? So your confidence in Islam, it comes from Khadija, not from Muhammad. Muhammad thought that he was demon possessed when he started receiving revelation. So,
apakah masih mau mengikuti ajaran orang yang mengakui diri sebagai nabi, padahal wahyu yang diterimanya berasal dari setan, tetapi dia berkata bahwa itu dari Allah? Silakan dijawab sendiri ya. Bagi Anda yang cerdas, ayo berpikir dengan logika dan dengan pikiran yang terbuka. Apakah perlu mengikuti ajaran dari orang yang mengakui diri sebagai nabi, namun menerima wahyu dari setan, tetapi berkata bahwa itu dari Tuhan?
Oleh karena itu, yuk sekarang kita berpikir. Jangan takut murtad dong. Oleh karena itu, yuk sekarang kita berpikir. Jangan takut murtad dong. Jangan takut murtad dong. Daripada kamu mempercayai sesuatu yang tidak benar. Betul nggak? Ya iya, berpikir kritis.
Dan bagi Anda yang ingin keluar dari ajaran dari orang yang mengakui diri sebagai nabi, namun menerima wahyu dari setan, silahkan tulis di kolom komentar. Jika video ini membuka wawasan Anda, silahkan di-share link video ini kepada orang-orang yang membutuhkan.